Hey, what's up traders? To watch this video here for Tuesday, December 3rd, showing you the SPY. I always start with the SPY. Kind of an ugly day today. Switch to 5-minute candles and show you just bleeding lower all morning. Tried to mount a little bounce in the afternoon, but ended up going out near its lows. SPY was certainly overdue for a pullback. So not really a big deal. I'll show, before I go into the watch list for tomorrow, I'm going to show a couple highlights. Today, ASLM was gapping up. Thought we might have shorts in trouble. Because he had this big topping tail from Friday and it looked like it was probably a good short going out at the bell on Friday, right? And then we wake up on Monday and it's set to open up near Friday's high. So a good scenario for shorts being in trouble. And then Jane, one of our members from the UK, spotted, we had this on the gap play list, but Jane's idea was a red to green about 5 minutes in, right? It opened at 670, gave a 2-minute buy setup at 670 because there's the open, the second 2-minute candle, also 670. So if it breaks it on the third candle, you've got a 2-minute trigger right at the red to green with the whole number 7, then the high of day, and then also Friday's high, all converging. So absolutely made sense. I'm going to be the first to tell you I didn't take it. And look what happened. That's 2 minutes. And it went so hard and fast that it halted on a volatility halt. Look at the next 2-minute candle. Well, sorry, that's after the halt. And then boom, right back down. So Wayne always says that's why we rent them. But if you got long there, and I know Wayne did, I know Jane did, and I know some other members did, and we always say this, if you get long here and you get a dollar something move in the next minute or two, and you're not unloading most of your shares, you're trading wrong, right? This is a gift from heaven to get that much of a move that quickly. And I'll tell you this, it's heartbreaking to do this, get this kind of a move, and then end up selling flat or for a loss. Always sell into upside shape. You can always keep some with a break-even stop, but unload some. It's a fun problem to have. Anyway, great call by Jane. And I'm going to show one that I called because I think it's just such a great lesson. And that was KRTX. Now, I went over this in the video coming into today, the video I made this weekend. And I'll show you the daily. So let me take today's candle out of it. This thing, after going from, gapping up to around a little over 30 and went to 150 in 2 sessions, I'm going to switch to 15-minute candles now. And I talked about this in the video that I made this weekend and showed you why it was on watch and what I was looking for. So there's the high where it pierced 150. Notice the very next day, there's your opening 15-minute candle. You know what? I'm going to switch to 30-minute candles and even simplify this a little better. All right, so there's the high. A little hard for me to see which day. So there's the next day after after hitting 150. There's the opening 30-minute high, right? There is the next day right there. So what you notice is the day after it hit 150, it never broke its opening 30-minute high. Same thing the next day. There's the high the next day. It hit it in the opening 30 minutes. The very next day, it broke its opening 30-minute high, but still about 40 minutes in, right? It still never broke the highs in the afternoon, right? The next day, put in its high within the first hour, never broke its early high. So if you watch the video, I said, what I'd like to see is a stock break over its early high in the afternoon, all right? So now let me switch back to 5-minute candles and show you exactly what it looked like. So there's the early high. It opened right here. There's the early high, 72.50. It falls down, comes back up, and then is flagging right below the whole number 72. There was a seller on the tape. So we combined a whole number inflection point idea with the high of day just being 50 cents above. And on a stock like KRTX, 50 cents is like a couple ticks away, right? So anyway, I typed out in chat. Let me try to find that. There, I found it. Took a screenshot of what I typed out in chat. KRTX over 72 idea, spreading in thins, trade small if at all, and adjust even more due to spreads, because it had nasty spreads, right? High of day is 72.50, and this would be the first afternoon high of day break, kind of following up on what I put in the video this weekend, right? First afternoon high of day break since it was 150-ish if it takes out 72.50. So, and then I sounded the bell so people could see it. So I was looking for the 72 break, looking for a pretty quick move through 72.50. Then we light up the high of day ticker in the afternoon. Exactly what I was looking for. And look at that. I mean, it never looked back from the 72 entry, went up to almost 79. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Powerful setup. Look at that. Huge move. and since this day, never broke its opening, I'll say opening 45-minute high. In other words, never had an afternoon high of day break. Having said that, I'm going to go into the watch list for tomorrow now. KRTX is on the watch list because it seems to have found support and tried to mount a rally today, closing well off of its highs, but we're going to watch it again tomorrow. What else am I watching? Let me pan out a little bit so you can see these better. CGIX, big rip on Friday, and then today kind of a quiet inside day on lower volume. I want to watch that for a third day play. SONO, potential bounce. After popping and breaking recent highs right here, which is what, like 4 or 5 sessions ago, now it's ripped all the way back down near the bottom of its range. All right, it's in a range from here to here, and it's gotten to the bottom of its range pretty quickly. So this one goes on bounce watch. We'll only take that with a proper intraday setup. AKBA had a huge move here from a little over 3 to 650 in about a week, a little more than a week. So we've only got a one-day pullback so far. I'd really like to see another red day and get down to this buy zone, but sometimes the stock is strong enough that the one-day pullback and then it rips again. So if I get the right setup, I'll try that tomorrow. CANF broke above 4. I talked about this in the weekend video, and actually went all the way to 495 before settling in at 420. I think you might have some shorts in trouble on this one. We're going to watch that for maybe a red to green or something along those lines tomorrow. PBYI. Nice volume today and kind of a strong breakout out of the last month's range. We're going to see if we get a continuation in that one. SAEX closing well off of its highs, but usually when you have a stock that gaps up like this and sells off and starts to bleed lower, usually it just never returns anywhere near that, at least not for months. And all of a sudden, you know, a week and a half later, it rips and it kind of makes a run at the highs from that gap up day. Again, it closed kind of weak, but maybe a red to green, and they pile back in that one. I'm not in love with that one. Kern, very sneaky, squinky trader, but I'm going to zoom in. You see the big move back there, so now I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little better. 4 sessions ago, it hit 950. Today, it hit 950. Well, 951, but basically, it's over 950. You've got the 200-day, which isn't on this chart, right around 10 bucks. So this is kind of interesting. But I'm going to caution you on Kern. It's a nasty trader. Sometimes it makes really nice moves, but it's a very, very whippy trader. And this one, I've seen the bids just fall off of it. So be very careful with that one, position size-wise and all that. I already talked about KRTX back on long watch. ISEE, pan out a little bit here. Had this really nice move from like $1.60 to almost 440. Pulled back, and then today, strong volume for this stock. Still, that was only 1 million shares today, but it had a nice move. The intraday, 331 to 408 on an intraday basis. We're going to look for a follow-through day there. If we can take out today's high tomorrow, we might make a run at this recent high. So let's keep our eyes on that one. A couple more. WKHS seems to have found support, and it's starting to curl back up. And if I switch to an intraday chart, you can see it had a nice volume spike in the afternoon. And held up pretty well. So that's kind of what put it on my radar, was that volume spike. And it does have a decent looking daily chart. Kind of, you picture a trend line here, and it looks like it's probably trying to break that. So we'll see. It goes on watch. And then VRAY gapping in after hours, closing out in after hours, or it's still probably trading somewhere around 442 right now. So set to open somewhere up here, maybe. We'll see what it does in pre-market, but that's also an interesting gap and go play. A couple nice trades today. I wasn't very active because, as I showed you before, the SPY pretty much weak all morning, but we still had a couple pretty nice trades, and we will be watching these, and we'll add some gappers to this list as well, and we'll see y'all in chat tomorrow. Have a good night.